brought to you by Ardecor. We keep you covered. And Horizon Recording Live. Live sound for your events.
What did he do to the fans?
Yeah, seriously.
What did he do? The organization could say something, but what did he do to the fans? He did nothing to the fans.
Just sock 60 home runs in 3 or 4 years.
First of all, when you're going to say Sammy, it's slamming Sammy, all right? Okay? And the fans owe him something. Baseball owes him something. The Cubs owe him something.
How much
Everybody
money
owes
did that guy
him.
get?
I mean, Bud Selig was pretty much giving him the steroids.
No, I agree.
He's like, hey, Sammy, please save me. I'm not even joking here. He's a bottom 5 manager.
Whoa, okay, that's going a little far.
I might have to use this for clickbait now.
No, I don't understand Joe Madden. I know you don't think it matters. The order
Look,
doesn't
they just need
matter.
a pajama day, okay? Come on, that'll solve everything.
Yeah, they're... Welcome to Comeback Liner, a Chicago sports podcast brought to you from the fans by the fans. And on today's episode, we are talking about Sammy Sosa's legacy with the Chicago Cubs. And everyone, please subscribe as well. It's we very much appreciate it. And yeah, I'd like you a lot. Kyle, I'll throw this one off to you. So Sammy Sosa was in the news recently saying he is disappointed and wants to come back for the Chicago Cubs fans. What do you think about the Cubs bringing him back or not?
I don't think the Cubs owe him anything to bring him back. I honestly, I don't think the fans owe him anything to come back either.
What?
No,
Wow.
I don't.
Wow. Oh, my God. Dude.
You're a
Kyle's
Cubs fan,
gonna
right?
fall.
I am a
This
Cubs
guy,
fan.
He's a Cubs fan. Go ahead.
No, I'm seriously. I don't. The only reason he wants to come back is put himself back in the limelight.
Yeah, 100%.
Have you once smiled from his blowing kisses to the camera? If you smile once, you owe him one-time visit back. I'm sorry, this dude was a showman.
now-
running around the bases with the American flag. America. It's like perfect. It was perfect back then.
Don't get me wrong. Okay, what he did at the time in baseball,
You're wrong.
especially in 1998, was it saved baseball. There's no question about it. Him and McGuire saved baseball in 1998.
Yet the fans don't owe.
Yeah, no.
You have to understand where I'm coming from on this. All right.
All right.
The reason I say the fans don't owe him anything is they cheered for him. They gave him everything he wanted for those 5, 6, 7 years. He was here doing all his juicing, and I mean, granted, he was never officially caught.
No steroids. He never got busted. Never failed the
Man,
test.
are you kidding me right now?
No, he's the he was
We are really going to have this steroid right here with these guys.
he was
Regardless of steroids,
So-
he essentially saved the era, though.
He saved the
Yes.
era of baseball, and I give him that.
And he was
the
well
prob-
compensated.
he was-
and
exactly
cheered
at
as well.
that time. He was well compensated.
Wait, what did he do to the fans?
Yeah, seriously.
What did
I
he
wanna
do?
know-
The organization could say something, but what did he do to the fans? He did nothing to the fans.
just sock 60 home runs in 3 or 4 years, you know.
Gave Camus the greatest time of his life.
Yes, my best year, Summer of Sam, with McGuire and Sosa
All right.
back to back.
Camus, why don't you
66
gather
and
up your
70
buddies
home
and you can have a banquet with them because nobody in Wrigley Field these days cares.
I mean,
runs. I
did the Cubs
disagree
win a
with
World
that.
Series when Sammy Sosa was hitting all the home runs? They got within 7?
2003 was a pretty damn cool year. We were 5 outs away from going to the World Series.
I agree, but
And
did
if
we
it
win?
wasn't for that one guy who
Yeah.
ruined it for everybody,
Yeah.
You're talking Alex Gonzalez.
Alex
Yeah.
Gonzalez,
Exactly.
yeah, can't feel the
Dusty
ball.
Baker?
Yeah,
Dusty-
Dusty Baker leaving in his
Dusty-
starter too long.
Dusty, we do not trust you.
Yeah, and then one year, Sammy walked out on his team.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, that's-
First of all, when you're gonna say Sammy, it's slamming Sammy, all right? Okay. And the fans owe him something. Baseball owes him something. The Cubs owe him something.
How much
Everybody
money did that
owes
guy
him.
get paid? Did he get compensated for saving baseball?
Why does
No.
he need to
Not enough.
apologize though to the fans?
Okay, no, I agree there. There's no point in him apologizing, but the fact that he thinks that he owes it to the fans and the fans want to embrace him and bring him back, I don't think it's true.
The majority
I'm
of
ready.
fans do. I think you're essentially the minority here
Yeah.
because the majority of fans do.
I will say this: baseball is my favorite sport, and I honestly started watching baseball because of Sammy.
I agree. Same
I mean,
here.
So you're going to stop watching because nobody cares about him now then?
No.
I'm still watching it. I'm
Yeah.
just
Oh,
saying.
okay.
I started watching, and what made me enjoy baseball was Sammy Sosa, and the whole steroid stuff. I mean, Bud Selig was pretty much giving him the steroids.
No, I agree.
He's like, hey, Sammy, please save me.
I don't know if it was Sammy that they wanted saving him from, but between him and McGuire,
Dude, Andrew
was
even
dying.
It was.
dying.
McGuire had Andrew in the friggin' back of his locker. That's
Flint-
how
they were
open they
Flintstones
were about
vitamins, so,
steroids.
yeah.
But former great players get honored. They get statues
Yes,
built.
thank you.
Obviously,
Look at the
not
Sox
going
have
to
like
Hall-
20
They get their
friggin'
numbers retired. Burley just had his number retired. Konerko had his numbers retired. They're not even close to Sammy Sosa.
Yes, I
And
agree.
did you, if you watch that interview, they had a clip going to Kerry Wood, who is like a team ambassador, who's loved by the Cubs, and he went on record and said, I don't know what they were talking about. They need to welcome Sammy back. He was great in the clubhouse. I don't know what all these other rumors are about.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't
heard
hear that
Kerry
either.
Wood
It
the
was
one-
on there.
No,
Look
I
it
heard
up.
Kerry Wood did say that, but I also heard
He was
Kerry
the-
Wood was the one that bashed
Bashed his
his
thing.
boomboxing.
Yeah.
No, Kerry Wood did say, because it doesn't make any sense. He was so important to the franchise. He made that franchise so much money. It doesn't make sense. And then the Cubs go and they
Agreed.
hire freaking Manny Ramirez as a
Yeah.
coach, minor league
look,
coach.
there's definitely a double standard
Yeah.
there. I agree.
Yes, 100%.
But this whole thing.
Well, the management here wasn't with in 1998.
But the media
it's
overblow of
different
this.
ownership though too.
Yeah, it's
There's,
Okay,
yeah.
there's
So
an
respect
extreme
it.
media overblow on why we need to have why the fans should all embrace him, bring him back, why he needs to come back for the fans. Right now, I think the only reason he wants to come back is because he wants to be relevant again. I mean, he lives in obscurity.
If I was like the best baseball player in an entire decade,
But he
I would
wasn't
like
the
to
best
be
baseball
recognized.
player in the
he didn't make the
decade.
Hall of Fame when he's a bona fide Hall of Famer. Let's be honest here. 600 home runs. Here, let me just read off the 2001 season. 328, a 437 on base percentage, 737
Stop.
slugging, 64 home runs.
Guess what? He was still third in most of those categories.
And I'm not done, Kyle. We have 146 runs, 160 RBIs, and 186 run created plus, which means he's 86% better than the rest of the field for steroid era.
What,
That is
you're talking
unstoppable
2001,
stats.
correct?
Yeah, that was all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one name that'll just blow him clear out of the water in almost every category.
need Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Yes. Well, congratulations. The
You're
best
talking-
baseball player
and
of all
Barry
time.
Bonds was honored by the Giants. Everybody
Welcome
knows he
back.
was on steroids.
Then go be a Giants fan.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with
Mark
it?
McGuire has a
Wait,
job in
wait,
baseball
yes,
right now.
Okay, but did Barry Bonds literally Sosa quit on the team himself in the last season he played there in
Correct.
Chicago?
Correct.
That happened.
Rumors.
You can't.
That rumors? No,
Rumors.
Okay.
You
Fake news.
you
Yeah.
can't.
What do you mean?
Deny.
He walked out early?
Yes,
Like,
he left.
he was-
he left in the third
during the
inning of a
game.
ball game.
The last game. He left. Yeah.
Which
He left
makes
the ballpark.
sense to me if I was on a shitty team and we
Okay,
weren't going to win
so
the freaking season anyway.
because of that
Just
one,
walk out.
one mistake, let's ban him from the team. This Ricketts,
was the last
I
game of
love
the year,
Ricketts. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
Ricketts. I love Ricketts, but what?
I'd go out for
Sosa
dinner.
did nothing to the Ricketts. So these guys, ownership, he doesn't need to apologize to Ricketts. He didn't affect Ricketts.
Yeah.
Which
Right?
means that Ricketts doesn't owe him anything either.
Yeah, but
Like,
Ricketts owes the
cuts both
fans
ways.
to get the best experience
Yeah,
possible.
you know what? Ricketts
And
owes
people
the
like
fans
you
a
want
World
people-
Series, which he gave him, and you should say thank you and
Yeah,
ask
thank,
for more.
thank you, and I'd like Sammy now.
See, this is
I want dessert to be
this
Sammy
is
Sosa.
conversely. This is just like Matt with his absolute love for Joe Madden, just reversed.
I'm in love with Joe Madden now.
Yeah.
You have been.
Yeah, you kind of are.
You really are.
Well, I mean, he did bring a World Series to the Cubs.
So Ricketts brought a World Series to the Cubs. Why is he owed to Sosa? I mean,
It's for
I
the
don't get the
fans.
logic,
It's
sorry.
for the fans. It's for and the Cubs brand is, you know, it was already a big brand, but he made it a bigger brand. I mean, there's no denying he increased the outreach of
Yes.
to the Dominican, kind of international with a lot. of
however,
Latin
he was
players.
also in the center of the largest scandal in baseball history.
So is every player.
Yeah.
I collect
Seriously.
autographs. I would pay money for a Sammy Sosa autograph.
And he's just look, he's
More
wearing a
than
Sox shirt.
Yeah, more than and Sosa did play for the Sox, and that's kind of where he started his career. He started.
that was
You're
the Texas
welcome.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
But George Bell.
Yeah. Ouch. That one's gonna go on the pantheon of
major
horrible
out.
sports
Could you
fans.
imagine Sosa and Frank Thomas?
Oh,
And
my
Albert
God.
Bell.
I would probably hate Sammy right now if he was on the way.
Ban him
Stark
from
would
baseball.
Yeah,
Wow.
ban him from baseball, that cheating piece of
All right. Now let's just go at Sosa's actual career itself instead of the guy and all the other BS that goes with it.
Yeah.
The numbers he did put up. I mean, he's the only player in Major League history to hit 60 home runs 3 times.
insane.
Which-
Think about that. Giancarlo Stanton had, 59 last year? And that was like an incredible feat. And Sosa did that like 3 or 4 times. It's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the last time we saw home runs at the rate that we're seeing them this season was 98 to 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So while he was also on the juice, the ball was also juiced. I mean,
So are you saying somebody's going to hit 60 home runs
Yeah.
right here, right now on our show?
right here, right now. You
Not
know
the
what?
way
I'm
it's
telling
going
you
so
right
far.
now.
Mookie Betts.
At the rate he's going, he can do it.
Got
He's
injured.
5'9".
Got injured today.
Mookie.
Did he really?
Well, he's not breaking
Yeah.
40.
I lost
Bruce.
fantasy.
No, I'm telling you, the way baseball is now, they're in love with the home run. It's looking exactly like it was back in 98, 99, 2000, 2001.
There are more home runs hit, maybe not individual players, but
Per
overall.
capita, yeah.
Well, for just totals for the whole league, the last couple of years.
Speaking of cheating, what do you guys think about Trevor Bauer's comments of the Indians starting rotation?
Well,
Speaking of,
yeah, so if you didn't know, Trevor Bauer came out and accused the Houston Astros of doctoring baseballs to increase their spin rate on their fastball. So if you look at these...
Give it to me, Big Daddy.
Oh, here, I'll just read some stats from you. So Justin Verlander, the number 1 key guy, if you didn't know, turns into a stud all over again. How many Ks did he have in his latest start? Was it like 15 Ks or something, 14 or something?
I know Garrett Cole had 17.
Yes, Garrett Cole is another person. But here, Verlander 4-seam fastball metric. So 2015, he had about 24.91 rotations per minute or second, whatever that is. I think it's minute.
So-
and then he dipped in those hurt years, and then he increased it in 2018 to 26.29.
So what does the data tell you? What do you get out of
Okay,
that?
I was looking at this. So Trevor Bauer's rates, he averages about 22.94 for his entire 4-year career, and it is one of those things where it's kind of your athletics, like your 40 time. You can't just increase your 40 time once you've like capped it out. So these people are already at the pinnacle of their respective skill sets.
especially at his age.
Yeah, so you don't just increase stuff like that. So it's kind of just like a fingerprint for a pitcher. And he has been pretty consistent, but Verlander's jumped it up 200. So what that would mean to me is either he is using substances, stickum, to increase the spin rate on his fastball, or he is roiding to the gills. at
What
35
about Garrett
years
Cole?
old.
Is Garrett Cole in the similar situation?
Yes.
Because when he came up with the Pirates, everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing with Michael Wacha.
Yeah.
Pitched great in a 1-game playoff, and he's really fallen off the face of the earth the last few years.
Yeah, and he's increased
Injuries
it.
killed him the last couple of years.
He's increased it 200, which is like unheard of. It
So,
just does not
Both
happen.
with the Astros.
But
Yes.
I would like to point out,
Which
you are
is okay.
taking spin rates on a 4-seam fastball.
Okay.
The 4-seam fastball is the fastball that doesn't move. It is the one you throw the hardest.
Okay.
Spin rates affect things more like the 2-seamer, sliders. Those things are affected harder on spin rates than a 4-seam fastball is. So I like the numbers that you brought up, but do you have numbers on the secondary pitches?
Well, the point is that it is increasing. That's all that matters.
Now-
It proves that he's using stickum. So what does it matter if he's using stickum on a 2-seamer or a 4-seamer?
You know what's interesting about all this is this really hasn't garnered that much media attention the way it kind of should have. Like, based
they're
in the
cheating.
90s, there were players that were calling out some of the other players. Frank Thomas was a big advocate of having stricter steroid bans. And essentially what this is doing is it's the exact same thing, but nobody wants to address the issue.
So
Well, all
the
the talk's been
Astros,
with just the ball being juiced in general. Maybe, do these pitchers think the
Well,
ball
the-
really is juiced?
the
So
ball-
they're going to say,
The ball
screw
itself.
you, I'm going to
If you
try to
take
get the spin rate up.
if you take what Pedro Martinez said recently, he's held a ball that he had from I think it was like 2004 when Boston won the World Series, and one now. He says the ball is different. It's slicker now than it was back then. So these guys that are trying to get more spin on the ball, it is possible. I mean, it could be a stickum or a foreign substance, but that's also why the ball travels farther now. There's less resistance on the ball when it's hit. So pitchers getting more spin rate on the ball could also be, especially on a 4-seam fastball, they might not be gripping it as hard, and it's getting more spin because they don't have anything on the
Then
ball.
why do you have cases like Trevor Bauer where it's very consistent data?
But Trevor Bauer's career is 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, that's
the
last
ball
4
changed.
years.
The ball changed in 15.
And then the
But he's
numbers didn't
comparing
reflect
the
it.
same one,
Yeah,
same year.
the
Yeah,
control
same
group is
players.
exactly the same.
I mean,
His
and
numbers
it's
are-
really not as relevant it's more prevalent with the Astros than any other team, really. I mean, you can look at all the players. It's not happening with the Cubs. It's not happening.
The Cubs are in the other
The
direction.
biggest one is Garrett Cole here.
Yeah.
Garrett
I
Cole
don't know
just comes out
who
of
the
nowhere,
pitching
striking out
coach is for the
17 again.
Astros, but his ERA is 1.42 with a .69 WHIP. K per 9, 13.7.
Is this
his
Cole- is
K
this
per
Cole?
9
It's
the
Garrett
last
Cole.
2 years were 8.7 and 7.6.
I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. I mean, there's got to be something that's going on. That's for sure. Whether it's Stickum or not, or he learned to get really increased arm speed at his age. which
Maybe they
doesn't
just
happen.
have the best analytic team in baseball because they obviously
Yeah.
picked apart Darvish during the World Series.
They're actually known for having one of the best analytics departments. And
You know?
yeah,
Something's going on there.
Yeah, they're on to it. But here's some testimony. So Justin Verlander came out and he said, I was hurt for those 2 years. He had, what was his injury again?
He had a tear in his core.
Yeah.
It was something in his abdomen core that was a problem.
He was screwing Kate Upton too hard. And he tore a muscle and
Basically,
Yeah.
everything everything that I've read
thumbs
on
up
what
for that.
happens with that injury he had, it may look healed in the first year back, but it is a 2-year full recovery time, and you can see it because it was last year. No, it was the year before. In that second half, he started taking off again, and then this last year he was phenomenal.
He's 35 years old, by the way.
But then,
Yeah, that's-
but why is his spin rate at 2018 faster than his 2015 year?
Well, he's hurt 2015 and 16.
No, he
No,
was
he
hurt
was hurt
16 and
17.
17. That's
15,
the
he was
point.
Healthy.
17 he pitched the entire season.
Well, I'm just telling you the numbers. 2015 was when he didn't get hurt. He was last year with the Detroit, and then his last year obviously jumped up 200.
Stubbornness at its finest.
Yeah, but here, let me just finish this off. So, and then Dallas Keuchel said he relies on a sinker. So more spin means deadening the ball, less movement. So it makes sense he wouldn't use it. But the two pitchers clearly to me are Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander that are using some kind of.
I mean,
foreign
I can
substance.
let Verlander pass, but the Garrett Cole one, that's just too fishy.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
just too
Garrett Cole's also
fishy.
how old?
Yeah.
he's young, but you saying you get more athletic when you get to your mid-20s? I don't think that happens.
But I just don't
You
think
could get more refined when you're
But
getting
your spin rates
mid-20s.
don't. though.
Garrett
That's the
Cole's
thing.
probably like
But his
28, 27.
spin rate was
27.
2015, 2016, 2017. 21, 57, 21, 83, 21, 63. Identical. And then they jump up to 23, 32 in what?
In
the
an off
one,
season?
In 1 month with the Astros? In off season? Like, to just, I don't know. That's just too fishy.
Anyways, I'm going to just close up this topic. Let's move on to the first month and a half of the baseball season. So I'll throw the Sox since we have so many Sox fans. So
Why are you doing
what do you think about the first 2 months of the White Sox?
They got a guy named Daniel Polka playing right field yesterday. This guy looks like Schwarber out there.
no.
Oh, it's atrocious.
Without the power?
Makata's hurt. No, it's
Makata's
really,
doing good.
When's the pitcher coming up?
You know,
I want.
Oh,
Define-
Kopech?
Yeah, where's
Oh,
Kopech?
why is
What is
Kopech-
going on?
He's
here?
got-
Define
That's what I
doing
want.
good though. Makata struck out 49 times and
I thought-
115 at bats.
I thought he had like a
know,
850 OPS or something.
But his K percentage is like 42.
Is that sustainable when
No.
you strike out
That's-
that much
that's-
though?
that's the key. You
That's
not
my
making
concern.
contact.
I love
Well,
the on
but-
base percentage. It's at 350.
What's
Yeah.
the strikeout rate though for the league? Because from what I
But
understand,
it's an all-time
is-
high. It is
yeah,
an
like
all-time
everyone
high.
is either striking out or hitting a home run. So like, is it even that concerning for Makata?
Well, the average would be around like 22 to 25, and he's double that. So
I understand, but if the league is up commensurate to whatever that percentage is,
Well, what they say is if you get to over 40%, it's completely unsustainable.
Yeah.
That's why you get players
That's
like
my concern, and it's well over 40.
Yeah, it's never historical data shows you'll never ever approach sustainability at those contact rates. So you get like someone like Trevor Story when he came up, he had a 40% strikeout ratio, and he was hitting bombs. But
yeah.
I didn't pick him in fantasy. I traded him right away, and he ended up having an awesome year. So it shows that there is no logic in the world. But either way, you like defy logic. But the point is, anything over 35% is you generally extremely red flag.
Have you realized though, in looking at the last 2 years of the last 2 year landscape of baseball, many things that have defied logic are actually happening. So
Yeah.
can we say that averages don't really matter anymore in baseball because things that are considered outliers are happening more and more?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, essentially,
Different
we said
environment.
this was a developmental year for the White Sox.
True.
So Makata's on the DL right now, 350 OBP, excited about that. Everything falls on the pitching staff, then young players. So Fulmer, Giolito, Lopez. Those guys, Lopez has been pretty good. He has a low ERA under
His
3.
walk rate is ridiculous, though.
So is Giolito. So is Fulmer's walk rate. It is
But the walk
crazy.
rate,
It's atrocious.
Carson Fulmer.
It's atrocious.
He's
But
bad.
part of my
It's
concern,
not just
though,
that.
I love
It's
Fulmer
the
out of
whole
college.
Oh,
in a league where everybody is striking out,
Yeah.
Lopez strikeout rate 6.1 K per 9. Giolito
terrible.
5.1. Fulmer 7.5.
What?
Those
Are
are
those
good
real
K
numbers?
rates
wow.
in a league where everybody's striking out.
Yeah. That's not good.
But you know what? This also there's a lot more walks happening too. So it makes me also wonder if was it who's the third baseman last year?
Joe Creedy.
Shoot, I was gonna say Joe
Frazier.
Joe Greedy.
Frazier, I believe it was
Todd
2 days.
Frazier.
You mean
Todd Father.
Todd Frazier, I think it was 3 days ago.
You mean the guy-
came out and said, I've had enough of this. Umpires need to know what the strike zone is because every time we come up to the plate, nobody knows what a strike is anymore.
only answer? Robot umpires.
Could
Yeah.
be coming.
I mean,
Yeah, it
I
is.
don't like the idea of robot umpires, but he's got a point. These umpires are getting worse and worse
Yeah, how
every
about we
season.
just hold the umpires that we currently have to the standard of this is a strike, this is not a strike.
Yeah, but then they can't fix games. Don't you understand?
They
how this
just
works?
they just need to let Joe West train these guys a little bit.
No, you don't want Joe West to
my
train
God.
anybody.
A Joe West drop.
He is
Jeez.
statistically the worst umpire in
But
baseball.
he's the greatest singer I've ever heard. I mean,
Another stat thrown out there. Giolito 23 walks, 32 innings.
all right. Well, let's,
What the schmeg is that?
Yeah,
how are you schmegging going to win games with those types of numbers? I mean, we're talking about wanting to see progression. That's terrible.
can we talk about a
Horrible.
professional team now?
Yeah.
The minor league team.
I guess.
I thought we were trying to gain fans here.
Oh god.
I mean,
okay, go talk about the Cubs.
I can't even argue with you, and I want to argue with you. That's
I mean, they've
the
had
thing.
averaging 300 fans a game. Well, how many subscribers are we going to get talking
Dude,
about?
wait until Eloy comes up. That's who I'm
waiting for
excited to
Kopech.
see Eloy.
no,
Yeah,
Kopech is
Kopech
that's
is
the guy
Eloy.
you should look.
Yeah,
Dude,
Kopech's at
Eloy is
130 miles
tearing
per
it up
hour
right
now.
now.
Well,
What's his spin rate?
Kopech. Well, according to the latest
3,000.
his latest radar, he's throwing 120 now from left field or something.
With a hop and a skip.
Yeah.
You gotta be messing with me now.
Dude, look at him. He's a
I know.
monster.
Should we really talk about how bad the big signing's been?
Oh, you Darvish.
Killing my fantasy team.
Well, let's see. We'll just read off these stats. Oh, the stats are 6 ERA.
Stats are he's bad.
Yeah, no,
not
yeah.
good.
Sinan, do you think you would go with Arrieta or you Darvish at this point? We're 6 games in.
Neither. Honestly,
They both have been bad
You
signings.
can't abstain. You have to make a decision.
well, I'll still take Darvish over Arrieta. I think Darvish in the long run will still be better than Arrieta. But it's like the team, they're either consistent, their hitting's great, and then their pitching's just, disappears. And then they went through a 5-game stretch where their pitching was unbelievable, held the Rockies to on an average 2-3 runs in cores.
Mm-hmm.
And then pitching started shitting the bed, hitting, and then Joe Madden going all over the place with the lineup.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras was leading off
Why,
today. You guys
why
see that?
would you take Darvish, though, right now based off of what you've seen? Because Arrieta is pitching better.
Yeah.
They do have similar track histories. Arrieta won a Cy Young for,
except
Christ's sake.
Except
but-
Arrieta's K rate is at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his ground ball rate is
6.5, and he
62%.
has a lower ERA and a lower WHIP, so he's not
it's
walking
K
as many
plus
batters.
ground ball rates.
I mean, is this just one of those in Theo I trust moments
Yes.
where you're like, oh yeah,
Yes.
I'll
Come on, the
take
guy.
Darvish.
Darvish has 6 pitches, throws 95.
His free agency record is not too good, though.
What?
It's not even that though.
is not
Mentality.
Are you gonna
wise,
trash Theo on the air with me right next to you? Are you serious?
I'm not trashing him. I'm saying his free agent
I
record
mean,
is
you
not
are you
good.
are looking right now at a Jason Hayward and
Yeah.
a Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Yeah.
If Darvish is anything like the Hayward contract is, this is going to be a very
not good.
very
the
rough
thing.
way to go.
When you're on a big market team, that doesn't matter. I think,
It's going to matter until it will matter until
If you want
2020.
Bryce Harper, it's going to matter.
well, we can still get Bryce Harper.
Yeah, we signed a TV.
As soon as we
TV
cut
network.
Chris Bryant.
I mean, what type? But let's talk about the Cubs are planning on making the playoffs. Maybe.
No, they're in
Possibly.
first.
They're in first.
They're like,
Who do you want
tied.
pitching in a playoff game? Arrieta, who wants the ball, or Darvish, who's going to shy away from
Especially
that
after
moment?
How do you know he
Last year,
shies away from it? He does, have you talked to him?
Nobody
do you
does.
listen to
Nobody
his
does. He
balls?
can't even speak
He
English.
can't speak English.
Yeah. Isn't that like the perfect type of person that you'd want on the mound? That people are heckling him. He doesn't.
So you
know
got
what
Maybe
to
that's
say.
the problem. Maybe he doesn't know what the sign.
So maybe you got Wilson
Maybe
Contreras
that's-
for speaking 100 miles an hour at him in a broken version of English to you who has no idea what English
Can you
is.
imagine that conversation with Wilson Contreras and you, Darvish?
How does Darvish struggle the third time through the rotation?
that's
He
fifth
has
inning.
6
Fifth
pitches.
inning. Oh, my
Six
God.
pitches.
I completely
He's not
agree,
throwing
Steve.
any of them for strikes. None.
Yeah, he's got a 4.8 walk per 9, which
So
is
does-
really bad if you didn't know.
Does that fall on Jim Hickey? Who
Yes,
does that
it
fall
falls on
on?
Hickey.
No, it falls on you, Darvish, not freaking throwing strikes. That's all it is. He is an established track record for an entire career, and he's not living up to his standards. That's it. There's no one else to blame.
We talked about it 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. You asked me if you watched Darvish pitch before, which I said I did. Did he ever have that hitch in his pitch where he was pausing?
Yeah, and he stopped that.
And I said, no, he never did. That was a Hickey thing. They stopped it. Now he's trying to go to some other form,
Now he's back to the.
and he's still bad. I mean, they're tweaking with his mechanics, and he's not good either way.
That's exactly what they did with Jason Hayward. They brought him in and they tweaked with his mechanics, and he's never been the same player since.
Oh God, what if it was the coaching this entire time?
Dude,
Baggio wins a freaking World Series and he
Yeah.
gets fired.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the arms
thanks,
in the
Joe Madden,
bullpen
for
are
firing,
terrible.
Baggio.
And then
Yeah.
they
Yeah, there you
pretty
go.
much sign an entire new bullpen and they say, here you go, Hickey, take this.
Hickey, I'm not a big fan of Hickey so far.
wait, first of all, we signed Chili Davis, and then Boston
Oh, Chili
loses
Davis.
Chili Davis, and now they can hit the ball again.
Yeah,
Right? And,
Betts is more than halfway to his home run total.
and this was Joe Madden's picks, right? Like
Yeah,
Hickey and
Joe
Davis
Madden,
were Joe
two thumbs
Madden's
up.
picks, right? I think Joe Madden hates Theo, and I think he's trying to really
What?
Yeah, I think
No way.
I don't think they're getting along. 'Cause I think
Really?
No, Theo put the signing on Joe Madden.
Yeah.
He did.
Put him on
He,
full blast.
he,
and
he
said,
did that a
"This
couple
is-
times over the years last,
Yeah, and I
last
think-
winter. He made it clear. That,
I think
Theo's letting Joe have his team,
Yeah.
and my
So he can
and
fire
I'm not
him.
gonna lie. If the Cubs fall flat on their face this year, man,
Joe-
I bet you-
Joe's on a hot
No, I don't think Joe's going to be completely on the hot seat, but I think all his peripheral coaches are going to go what Theo wants.
Really?
Yes.
you're going to overturn the entire coaching staff back-to-back
Again,
years.
yeah.
I think
don't
if you
think
win
so.
90
And
games,
Madden,
everyone's
yeah, I
retained.
don't
well, you
think
gotta
so.
cut. It's a sunk cost. You gotta get rid of them if they're terrible, right? What?
How do you know they're
let's
terrible?
hope-
Well, they win 90 games this
But
year.
what
Are they
happens if they
terrible?
win 80?
Yes.
What happens if
90
they only
games
win
not good
80?
enough.
What if they win 80? Yes, I would be very disappointed if the Cubs win 80.
What do you
You
guys
can-
think about the rest of the rotation? Because the purpose of Hickey was to kind of shore up the issues with walks.
And
Quintana
bullpen?
has 16 walks on the year
Oh.
with Darvish. Chatwood has 27 walks.
Okay, I got to tell you.
32 innings.
Yeah, you look at
That's
Chatwood, though.
really bad. That's a walk per 9 of what, 8 or something?
I
7?
didn't think it could get worse than Giolito. but
That's
there
twice
it
as bad
is.
as Darvish. this
Have
year.
you watched Chatwood pitch?
I've seen him.
He's actually pretty good.
This
right
guy
now.
got
has
good stuff.
this guy has amazing stuff, but he has no clue where it's going. I mean, I think his ball moves more than Darvish's stuff, but he literally has no idea where it is. He's throwing it up there and hoping it crosses the plate sometime.
Some KVZ on the mound over here.
Spray and pray.
It is.
We've
is
spent,
spray and pray.
We've spent too much time on the pitching here, which actually hasn't been that bad. During that win streak, it was because of the pitching.
True.
What do you guys think about the Cubs' offense?
I was going to say, what about the defense? That's probably
How about the
faltering
bullpen if
them
we're going to go
even
around
more.
the horn
Well,
here?
the bullpen's been fine.
Yeah, so you're going
bullpen.
to trash the starting pitching. Why don't you give some credit to the
Well, when
league's
the offense
best
can't score
relieving
more than
corps?
3 runs and is struggling, I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
a
well,
problem.
we're kind of I don't know. The Cubs' offense is weird. We have so much talent. and
Madden's
it's so
tweaking the offense too much, in my opinion.
Everyone blames the manager. Why didn't you just
I don't know, but
baseball?
Okay, you win-
But
you
the
win
offense
five
was faltering before he started to tweak with it. Though.
But
Like
you-
when they were on that winning streak, they weren't hitting.
They weren't hitting, but they were hitting enough as a team to win those games. He tweaked the offense. All of a sudden, they got 2 hits. They had 3 hits, and then what did they do the third game? 2 hits. Again?
Minimal hits. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
minimal. Yeah.
And then okay, so you take Baez, who was on fire. I mean,
Baez.
literally on fire. You moved him to the 2-hole. He had 1 good game in the 2-hole, and then he was 0 for his next 12 in the 2-hole.
And let me guess,
To
that's
be
Joe
fair-
Madden's fault.
Did you say 2-hole one more time, please?
2-hole.
Did you guys see who was
Are you
leading
saying
off
too
tonight?
low or too low?
Wilson Contreras was leading off.
Albert Pujols? Is that what you guys are saying?
So yeah, but you look at that. Wilson Contreras leads
Wilson
off.
Contreras.
You had
leading off.
Albert Almora at the top of the lineup, and he was getting on base and he was getting hits. And then you decided, okay, we're gonna adjust the lineup. Rizzo, you're gonna lead off tonight. Since they moved Rizzo up there, Almora's been moved down, and he's not hitting either. I mean,
Players want consistency. I don't understand Joe Madden. I know you don't think it matters. The order
Look,
doesn't
they just need a pajama day, okay? Come on, that'll solve everything.
Yeah, their magician budget's out, so that's
yeah,
why Wilson
yeah.
Contreras is up in the leadoff.
Problem Wilson Contreras is struggling. He got married.
Weak in the knees.
weak in the knees.
Hey,
There's a long track record, Mike B. You get married, your Wii's get neaker, and you can't hit the ball.
your Wii's getting meeker.
I'm so flustered right now
Wow.
because of freaking. When we talk about Joe Madden, my
Your
blood
Wii's
boils.
getting meeker. That's what happens when we're talking about Joe Madden.
No,
Are you guys kids? Go ahead.
He's. I'm not even joking here. He's a bottom 5 manager.
Oh, no.
Whoa, okay, that's going a little far.
I might have to use this for clickbait now.
No,
with a
he
comment
is.
like that, I'm gonna
He
lead off
is.
with the show.
Managing a game.
He's
not-
overrated. I do
not
think he's
managing
overrated,
a
but he's
team.
still
Not
a very
managing a
good
team.
manager.
I said game manager, bottom 5.
Game manager, he's not
Good
good.
locker room manager.
He's a
great
great-
locker
He's
room.
great locker room.
99% of the job is
I
locker
can't
room
believe
manager.
we're even going here. I'm gonna have to cut this short. Any final cuts?
Chris Bryant's really struggling after he came back from that
I-
concussion. I
dude,
wonder
that's
if it's
very-
going to
He
linger
just hit
all
a home
year.
run again.
Tonight.
Just like a
About
couple minutes.
time.
For all that
That's
beating
good
up
to
on
hear
Milwaukee,
because he was
Milwaukee's
hitting
right back in there,
179
too.
the last 2 weeks,
Yikes.
so that's promising.
No, yeah, I'd cut Chris Bryant. That's serious.
I wonder what you could get if you traded him.
All right,
you
guys.
trade him for
I don't want. We gotta.
Arenado, maybe?
Everyone.
I like Nolan Arenado.
Baseball
Good player.
bats?
Actually,
I think
do you
we-
think Arenado should have won the MVP over Chris Bryant that one year? Anyone else agree?
That was
with
the weakest MVP ever won.
I hate to say it.
It was not a strong.
yeah,
It was
he
not a
was.
strong
Like
finish.
Like a
for KB.
6.7 WAR.
All right, before my head explodes here, guys.
6.7 WAR. You can't win an MVP unless you have at least 8.
What, is
They should
Trout
not give an
spoiled
award.
you or something?
No, they should not give an
Trout's
award.
averaging 10 per year, and that's why he should win every single year. That's like such an anomaly for all of baseball history to have that good of WAR. 6 and 7 are supposed to be MVP caliber. Oh, I gotta stop. All right, guys, please subscribe. Really much appreciate it. Boom, mind blown. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Wait. Kerry Wood, 20 strikeout
yeah.
game.
Oh, yeah, that
Very
is
good.
true.
I love you, Kerry Wood.